All right, welcome back. This is MDawg, and we are doing another quick update here on the Cozy Dog leveling experience. Once again, like yesterday, we did just a little bit of fishing while streaming from main account off on the side, and just want to talk about the results a little bit. Thanks for the feedback from yesterday. Some of y'all did enjoy the new format, and hopefully appreciate that. Maybe that'll give this series a little bit more legs. Small Kitty Paul did ask, is there a chance to get some explanation on sinkers versus ground bait cages? Some people just use sinkers weights instead of using only cages, even without ground bait. So for me, if I'm using a cage, I'm putting ground bait in it. If I am not using ground bait, then I'm going to change it to a cage. To a sinker. That's me. Now, I don't know if it's implemented in the game that like using a cage without ground bait is a disadvantage. You know, it still sinks. It's still got weight to it. This weighs 60 grams, so it's actually a good sinker. When you put ground bait in there, it's 70 grams. It's even better, but that's how I do it. Can you use them as sinkers even without the ground bait? Probably. Probably doesn't affect it too much, but I don't do that. As a new player, I love your vids. This is that first. Oh yeah, I already said this. This other one was from Poco. Does alcohol only give XP boost, or does it increase luck with crafting? I don't know if it's ever been confirmed. I don't know if it has anything to do with crafting. Definitely you hear that from people frequently. But I can't remember if that's ever been confirmed or if that's just more of one of those things where, people thinks it might, but it whether or not it does, I'm not sure. Definitely it gives you an increase to XP bonus. And, you could try it out. Just experiment with it, see if it seems to help you or not. Funny thing about alcohol is it used to give luck. There used to be a actual statistic in the game called luck. You could see your luck meter and all that kind of thing. And, hold on, let me think about this. Was there a meter or did it just mention it? Anyway, it used to talk about luck in the game as if you could increase your luck with alcohol. All right, 73, 77. I've got a couple of spots here at Mosquito to show you, and then we may do, what time of day is it? 13:29. We may do a little bit of fishing, just briefly check a spot that somebody told me about during the stream today for float fishing. We'll see. All right, 73, 77 is right here, and I was aiming at that hill right over there. So what this spot is a 15-meter spot to try to catch eyed. Okay, now it is very slow. We did catch some fish here, but it was very slow. So this is really more, what you see people doing here is folks that are trying to catch trophy eyes to complete their mosquito card. Then they're sitting here, even though it's very slow fishing, they're sitting here trying to catch trophy eyed. And those people are typically using PVA, not ground bait. So that's a whole different thing. But I wanted to just try it to see how it would go. I used a 4-hook and corn, put some eyed ground bait out there. And honestly, we did catch a couple decent eyed. I think one we had to turn in for a cafe order. But it's just too slow. So it's probably not worth the farm. But if you do want to catch an eye, just catch a couple eyed to see what they look like, see how they fight. They're pretty strong. That is a spot you could do it at. Now, the spot that I did fish at for a solid hour and did really well. Like I finished, I think we had 3 or 4 cafe orders. It's this spot here, 80.72. And I was using roach ground bait again, just because sometimes I just like to have ground bait on there. And I had on 3 different setups. So on this one, by the way, we're going down to clip like 6 to 8 kind of thing. Very small clip. I'll even go 6 for now. So it's just casting it right at your feet, basically. On my second rod, though, I did... Need to make some more roach ground bait. I did regular worm, and then later I changed it to bloodworm. Again, 6. And then on the third rod, I would definitely do worm, because I don't want to burn through red worms too fast. And to me, like this spot, I actually think bloodworm in some ways was the most interesting bait in this spot. Depends on if it's during day or nighttime. But just so you see, and don't worry about the times, because obviously it's been several hours since I did this fishing, but the spot's still gonna be fine. Mostly what I caught here, rough and bleak, but we had a few Chinese sleepers, turned in 3 of them for a cafe order. Chub, roach, small bream, occasional eyed, even down here, occasional tench. But that's all bycatch stuff. Mostly what you're gonna catch here is like rough and bleak. So it's a really nice little spot and a little way to get some of the cafe orders. Just fishing this one spot with different worm species, I think I hit 3 or 4 cafe orders like easily. And that really bounces your silver up. Plus we have another 100 silver worth of fish in the net right now. So this is a decent little spot. If you want to hit some cafes, I mean, I wouldn't do this just hour after hour, but like for 1 hour or 2 hours, hit some cafes and then just make a little silver. It's a nice spot. It kind of reminds me of like poor man's version of that spot at Winding we did at camp yesterday. Just because you're catching, look at this. Usually you catch bleak like this on float fishing, but I was reliably catching bleak during the day here on feeders. It was actually quite good. I wish we could have gotten a fish on bloodworm, but we didn't. That's okay. All right, I'm going to fast travel because there's no point in belaboring the point. But again, that was 8072 clip 6. Just use different worm. Probably if you want your best shot of trophying the rough, probably go red worm. But I thought that the bite rate and then the variety of species was really cool on bloodworm especially, and of course regular worm, which if you're shoveling you've got infinite regular worm, so it's always worth doing that. So let's look at the cafe here. You know, we finished several cafe orders earlier. Boy, this would be an easy one to knock off with the roach. I'm not seeing anything else right now, but again, if we go to the cafe, that's over 100 silver more even after the fish market, even after the cafe fish. Nice little tench, nice eyed. They definitely add up. And then look at these rough. That's why sometimes if you got a really active rough spot, it's nice just to sit on the rough. So that's up to 2,800 silver. Guess we're gonna buy our first caliber HSV soon. I don't know what we're doing honestly with, in terms of all that, but we certainly could. Okay, so during the stream, Cassavir suggested this spot. We're running out of daylight, but I thought we could try it for a second. And it's going to be at 86,102. This is on float with 19 hooks. So I'll probably use 20 hook. And the problem is they're using, and it's on caster. I don't know if they said the depth. Yes, 38 depth. So the problem is they're fishing, and I'll show you the spot in a second. They're fishing out pretty far, and they're using a bolo or a match setup. Looks like bolo probably, and so I might not be able to get it quite as far out there as they did, but we'll see. 86,102. It's right up here. But they were catching some really nice dace, and so I thought it might be worth at least looking at this. Oh, this is off. Yeah, we can do this here probably. We have enough length with this float to do it. So, if you want to use a bolo setup, it might even be easier to get it out there. But, and again, they did 19 hook, but I don't think I have 19s. We can double check in a second. But so just using caster, and sounds like they were catching a pretty nice percentage of, yeah, we don't have 19, of dace. In fact, they show their net here, and they've got some nice dace. So if you're enjoying float fishing, this might be another good spot to check for dace. Which, if you don't know, if you can reliably catch dace, especially when the other fish you're catching at the same time, if you can't find a dace, is bleak, That can end up being some really good silver. Oh, look at this. Wow, we just one shot 147 gram Dace. These are just really good silver if you're low level. Oh, it was getting a nibble. Yeah. Now that's not a Dace, right? Holy cow, we got another one. Okay. All right, hold on. Let's just test something really quick. I'm always curious about something when it's a spot like this. All right. Don't really know where I want to cast it from. All right, let's do a 12 clip. Probably just straight out, huh? Don't you love that float fishing bug where the thing sticks to you? All right, and then let's actually try caster on this one. What did we have on the other one? That was a quick bite. The other one we have bloodworm on. Got a little perch, I think. All right, let's see here. So maybe we'll catch a fish or two on, let's just try this float one more time, or a couple more times, and then we can also see if we catch something else random on feeder. But anyway, thank you for Cassaveer's suggestion. It's nice to have Cassaveer back playing RF4 a little bit. And thank you for the suggestion to try this out. This seems like it's going to be really good because of the bite rate of Dace here seems pretty solid. And this isn't even morning. Remember, mornings are always going to be, oftentimes will be your best. It is getting late in the afternoon, early evening here. So yeah, if you're interested in this, I would encourage you to just like give it a full day. And if this is tempting to say like, oh, maybe we should try a bolo setup. Because this is just far enough cast. It'd be nice to be able to like clip it at a specific distance and, you know, really see what we could do. But at least we're getting to taste it a little bit on the telly. And of course, the other option when you're fishing this spot right here at the connection point, let's see if we get a fish here, and then I'll show you. The other option is you can sometimes stand at the tip there and just cast straight out and basically be fishing at a very similar spot. But let's see. I don't think we've gotten any other bites on the feeders. It might just be time of day though. This is sort of an awkward time of day that we're trying this, but we caught 2 dace in a row. Like, I'm surprised we've hit this wall all of a sudden. There we go. Gotta wait for it. All right. Another dace. 132 gram. Yeah, this is pretty sweet. And then we'll go look and see what 3 or 4 dace are worth. And just imagine like doing this for a full day. Oh, gosh. The percentage of marker is 100 right now. Wow. Yeah. So we are luminous float. We are sort of kind of limiting ourselves because of not having the bolo. You can just tell that if you could cast a little farther, and then if you could be a little more flexible on how long you let it drift, this spot would be even better. And I'm assuming that's why Cassavir uses the bolo or the float, match here. Hey, it's a gudgeon. Okay. I mean, as long as you're catching stuff here, again, that makes nothing on the caster, though. Dace might be a little more challenging to get it off the bottom. So probably your best bet would be to go bloodworm, redworm, or regular worm on your feeders here. And then do a nice bolo setup. Is there a starter bolo kit in the store? I don't know. I'll see how I'm feeling tomorrow. It could even be worth just like going for it and just, enjoying it a little bit. Let's just see. I'm going to refresh in my memory here on the kits. Okay. One of those moments when it takes a little bit of time to get into the store. All right, so we do not have a bolo setup. We do not have a bolo kit, I mean. And you don't need much. I feel like these are new. They didn't used to have these, right? What's the requirement that we're not meeting? Oh yeah, we can't even fish with a bolo yet. You've got to be what, like 35 or something %? But anyway, something like that could work if you're higher in float fishing. Oh, it's 30%. Okay, well, we're almost there. Anyway, let's see real quick. So anything new on the cafe? Interesting cafe. See that gudgeon? You could get that really quick. That'd be 17 silver, just like that. Just, bottom fishing while you're fishing for the dace. All right, so let's look at these dace. 8 silver for this little fella. 4 markers, 23 silver. So good, such good silver. Okay, so a quick 23 silver here at Winding. All right, that's gonna do it. We made it 17 minutes on this one. As always, thanks for watching. Hope you're enjoying the new format. And come join me on the stream. We stream every day these days on RF4. And let me know if you have any questions, but wish you the best. Tight lines, everybody. I'll see you next time.